So tell me how you come to be yourself today, like your story.
When I was about maybe 1.5, 2 years old, I was at my aunt's house, and my friend who lived down the street was about 2 years old. And he decided to drop pants and start peeing on the side of the road. And I thought I could do the same thing because I saw he and I as the same person. I mean, looking back, analyzing the memories, that's what happened. But I just was like, oh, I can do this too. And I was quickly corrected that I could not do that. And just as I got older and everything, I was always friends with the guys, and I always wanted to cut my hair short like the guys did, and I always saw myself as one of the boys. And so my parents let me get like a pixie cut. They wouldn't let me get like not even a pixie cut, like a bob. I'm not really good with hair terms. But when I got to be about 6 years old, my parents sent me to an all-girls Catholic school, which, like, this wasn't like a punishment thing. In New Orleans, that's the education system. It's Catholic, single-sex schools. So I went to an all-girls school, and I remember I told one of the kids, or one of the girls asked like, why I was weird or different or something. I said I was a boy trapped in a girl's body. No idea transgender existed. That's just what made sense in my head. And the kids told me, oh, you're gay. And I was like, oh, is that bad? And they said yes. And I said, got it, not that. And so I just kind of repressed it. And not really in a way that, like, it bothered me my entire life. I had other stuff going on with family and everything in school to where I really didn't actually think about my gender identity till, honestly, I was about 20 years old. And it wasn't that I just didn't want to think about it. I got busy. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's kind of what happened. And it wasn't until my junior year of college, so I guess 21, that I really started questioning that, like, I didn't feel okay with this body. I mean, my voice was dropping. I started having more hair on my face, and I mean, that's weird. Like, your body just doesn't do that, and I thought that was strange. And I wasn't feeling happy as myself, and I started questioning my gender, and the relationship that I was in was not necessarily the most supportive, yeah. And so I ignored it for that semester until it got to a point where I really couldn't hold off anymore. And with help from friends that were supportive and others, I kind of came to this comfort and this confidence that I could come out. But what's funny, though, is I wrote this long, dramatic text message to my dad because he would find out, or I didn't want my parents to find out from my recent ex's family that I was transgender. I wanted them to find out from me. And I texted my dad this long, dramatic text message saying that, like, I couldn't talk to him over the phone because I would start crying, but I am transgender, and I've been feeling this way for a long time, and I just didn't realize it. I hope you're not upset at me, blah, 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 blah. I mean, just a long message, and the response I got back was, LOL, we been new. And I just sat there and laughed, and he said, we're totally supportive. Finish the show that you're in, and then we'll talk to some doctors and see where to go from there. And I found out from my mom that she had also been waiting for me to come out about it. Because when I told her I changed my major to nursing for one semester, I said, I have some news, and she said, oh, you're trans, and I said, no, I'm a nursing. Where did that come from? And she was like, oh, I don't know. So apparently I was left out on this, but that's kind of how I got to where I am. I have an endocrinologist that I see for hormone therapy. I just recently got top surgery. I'm about August, September, October, 4 months out. and that's kind of where we are today. Alright, so this is my testosterone box that Chrysalyn built me in her Stagecraft 2 final project, which I accidentally broke but fixed. And I keep my syringes, my needles in here. I do injections once a week on Tuesdays. This is the testosterone. If I can, I'm obviously on a new bottle. Oh no, I'm not. So this is the little bottle. I shake your hands a lot up, and I basically get refills every month. Month-ish. And basically Tuesdays are my high energy days, and by Monday I'm drained. But I'll be doing these for the rest of my life, unless science advances. But honestly, I'm okay with it.
Also, fun fact. So, the first time that Sam ever injected himself with the testosterone, he was scared. So, I put a Band-Aid on my leg so that he wouldn't feel so nervous about having to inject it and put the Band-Aid on. I don't know why I thought that was going to help. So now we have a thing where every time he injects himself, I used to stay up with him and put a Band-Aid on my leg, but now I'm typically asleep because he, grew up, and he puts the Band-Aid on any piece of body that he can find.
While she's asleep.
While I'm asleep.
Right before I leave for work, I'll put a Band-Aid on her. And that's just kind of her thing.
Yep.
So, how have you been there for Sam as a person?
I try not to be. No, I'm only kidding. So in the beginning of the process, I was a really close friend. And it just seemed to happen that we fell into each other's laps at times that each one of us needed them the most. And from then on out, I kind of just stuck around, kept listening. It started out where I would just listen, he had things to say, and I was there to listen. I held him in situations that were bad, and I encouraged the heck out of him in situations that were good, and everything kind of just started flowing.
Do people assume when they see you that you're a male, or are you male do people say, oh, he's male passing?
So before top surgery, it was a little over 50-50. I'd mostly get male, but with certain shirts I get female. It was really stressful before the surgery with bathrooms. Driving down to New Orleans from here. The gas station in Opelousas, if I was wearing a tank top, I went in the women's restroom. If it was a normal shirt or a baggier shirt, I'd go in the men's, and that was really stressful. But since top surgery, it's been a lot easier. Everyone really, I haven't gotten ma'am, or I haven't had anyone think I'm female. I've been a passing male. The whole bathroom situation has gotten a lot easier.
It's very much that people do see us as just a male and female couple, whereas before, when he would get ma'amed or miss or whatever, it was I guess they were assuming, but it's been very consistent recently. I don't know how you feel.
I didn't really even think about it till just now. I've always, I guess that's on my fault, or my part, assumed that everybody perceived us as a straight couple. I guess I never really thought about the perceptions.
Sam, what would you say to a person who is experiencing transitioning, or someone who, might think that they're transgender?
It's terrifying, but follow those thoughts. Don't, and that doesn't mean you have to pursue them. You don't have to all of a sudden start transitioning, but don't repress them. It's terrifying, but I remember there were moments in my car where I literally told myself, okay, we're gonna think about this, and we're gonna see where these thoughts lead to. But But I'm so glad I did, because it led to some incredible changes in my life, and I guess some okay ones as well. But it's been a journey, and I hope anyone that is questioning can feel the same joy that I do now.